Hello everyone, I'm joined here by Mr. Srinivasan Ramamoorthy. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. I wanted to understand from you, given your expertise, I understand that AI is involved in every step of OT. And of course, this means that there opens up a lot of potential for vulnerabilities in every sector. So I wanted to understand from you, what could these vulnerabilities be and what is the best way to overcome them?
Thanks, Armin, for the opportunity. You basically have asked it right. You have all the correct keywords, but let me just complement those keywords, right? In the manufacturing sector, right, there's a lot of IoT automation which happens at various levels because in a manufacturing we need to deliver product at the quality and at the speed. When we talk about the Industry 4.0, which is the highly automated manufacturing setup, right, we call something called connected machines, which means all the machines are a part of the manufacturing is connected somewhere to internet, right? So the threat comes from there, right? When you are connected to an internet, right, it's an IP address, which means it is exposed to an external world. So that's when the threat starts, which means like any other computers, right, your machines are exposed to the internet, which means the compromise can happen by hacking. It could be any kind of patch which is not there, which could pose a threat to the machines which is working. And since it is connected, any compromise on those will basically percolate into your entire manufacturing process, right? So vulnerability is across a data domain, a user access domain, as well as internet domain, right? These days we are talking about cloud. All the data is going to reside in cloud. The machines are connected to cloud. So vulnerability even starts at a cloud level. You basically want to share data, right, with various suppliers, right? The supply ecosystem, which means you are connected through an API to the external world. An API vulnerability is there. It's a threat there. And similarly, data. People who can access data can steal it, right? So which means access management is a vulnerability, right? So if you look at the network part, which is infrastructure, the cloud part, which is the next generation or emerging technology, and then an access part, which is the barest minimum that you need to access, right? The vulnerability is across these vectors. And to have a proper, to answer your second part, how do we need to ensure it, right? You need to basically know your entire data, right? What is the inventory and how it is connected, how we are basically consuming it. That basically solves what solution we need across those, right? We need to put a control to mitigate the risk across your network, your cloud or access part, monitor it, monitor the health, so that we know basically from reactive to proactive kind of a evolution of these machines to ensure that the machine operates at its level, availability is there, integrity is there, so that we are able to deliver to the customers at the quality, at the scale, at the speed.
Definitely, and there is a certain level of defense that comes across, and these defense might feel like a havoc at the organization, especially when it is sudden and unanticipated. Certain times AI does help with predicting any kind of threat, any kind of internal risk, any kind of vulnerability. But a lot of times AI also fails to flag the positives, and there are many false negatives in these certain cases. So, in your opinion, how should the future workforce be skilled to be better at predicting the the logical way of doing it, in the sense there is a certain system, there's a certain way to analyze where the threat is coming from and whatnot, and a lot of this is left to AI. And the current cybersecurity generation that is coming up, they are not very well versed, or there might be certain skill gaps. So what do you suggest to them?
Skill gap is an evolving area, right? The reason is the speed at which the technology is evolving. At the same time, it needs to be applied. Our workforce also needs to be aware of those changes, right? So it comes from awareness, right? When awareness is there in terms of what I need to deliver, my job, that's when the reflection in terms of what I need to deliver it, right? So skill is important as long as it meets both your personal and professional growth, right? AI is now everywhere, so everybody needs to know, right? Whether you are a student or working in a company, you need to know what AI can do, what AI cannot do, and how to apply it, right? From an industry perspective, there's also a constant what you call evolution of upgrading the skills for various sectors of employees. The reason is we also need to understand, right, where AI can be used, can complement the work, and where AI may not be used, right? Decision making, you cannot use AI. But whereas where it is transactional, it is decision making, right? I need to understand an AI use case, which will help by skilling myself through some certification, through some courses, networking, something like knowledge sharing session like this will help, right? Where I am, so I can reflect where I am and where industry is heading. That will basically going to know what I need to move there, right? So when you hear something like that, and when you can apply that to your company, your own function or your department, the skill where you need to know, you need to understand, you are going to learn on your own, right? Or you're going to put it in you as a part of your own development to understand where I need to and where am I supposed to head. That will help building the skills. It's not one way. The management will force give you training. No, it should be the other way as well. Both has to complement. It's a self plus the company needs to basically educate and help them. It will help them build a good ecosystem from the skill perspective.
Definitely, I do appreciate that there's different aspects to this coming with how the career goes and progresses forward. Definitely, as a student, you have to look into a lot of things, and once you do have a career, there are certain specialized sections where you have to develop your skills, and programs like CyBe's initiative is definitely something that will help progress a lot of cybersecurity experts in this DNA. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us, and it was truly insightful to learn from you about it.
Thank you, Arvind. Thanks for the time.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.